Hey everybody, thanks so much for listening to the Dumb Dad Podcast. My name is Kevin, and I'm a dumb dad.
And my name is Evan, and I'm a dumb dad. Hi everybody. On today's show, Kevin is going to tell us why going out to the desert for spring break brings some hot nights.
Nice.
Yeah.
And we're going to find out how Evan is garbage at taking out the trash. And we are going to give some very unsolicited medical advice.
Oh, yeah. Tune in.
Cheers, Demi.
Cheers. Let's get into it, Kevin.
Let's get into it.
You know why? Because spring has sprung.
Is it officially
Allergies are in the air.
You're suffering, aren't you?
I don't know what's going on with me, man. I started spring break by getting a cold, which turned into a sinus infection. And then I had like
Attaboy.
2 good days of that. And then I feel sick again at the end of spring break.
You had a sinus infection.
I had to get antibiotics.
Is that embarrassing?
I don't know. Feels like it could be.
Yeah.
What was wild was the size of the antibiotic pill that the guy gave me. The lady gave me.
So what's a sinus infection? You're just like your boogers get gross?
I don't know. They fester. They're like, we're going to live here now and make this our own space.
Okay.
Get comfy in there. Yeah, I don't know. Just blowing yellow glue out of my nose every morning until it's like, why is this cold not going away? Why do I feel worse? I was talking to my mom and she's like, you probably have a sinus infection.
Oh, was your mom's idea?
Well, let's go to the
Isn't that embarrassing?
urgent care to find out.
Isn't it embarrassing when you're like, I have this too, but like you're over 40 and then you talk to your parents and they say something and you go, okay, well.
Because you have all this experience.
Because like we're supposed to be at the age where we're just like, no, Mom, don't touch that. You know better. You're going to burn yourself.
Yeah.
But like we're not. We're not that.
No, we're not. We're still struggling every day.
Uh-huh. It's not
Welcome to the Dumb Dad Podcast. Mm-hmm. All of our platforms, struggling every day.
Struggling
so that
every day.
Can succeed. Struggle right along with us. Yeah, man. Spring is in the air. Spring activities have started. Spring break is over. How was your spring break?
My spring break was fine.
Yeah.
We went and visited my parents. It was good. Then everybody got sick.
Yeah. What?
You know what? Actually, no. Not everybody got sick. Here's what's crazy.
Your parents are fine. You were all sick.
Nope. My parents are sick. We went to them, visited them. We left, and it was like, found out my nephews were sick because they probably caught it from a kid from school. That's all how it all happens. And then, anyway, the kids then got sick. We'll get into that more in my dumb dad moment.
All anybody talks about is like when you're a parent, you'll get used to it. You'll start building your immunity because you could be sick all the time. And then next thing you know, it's like you can't get sick. 3rd grade here, every break, getting sick. When is it kicking in? When's the immunity kicking in?
It's not how illnesses work. It mutates.
I know. And their little antibodies all reset themselves for COVID. So it's all just... We're getting sick a lot, is the point.
Okay.
I want to get away from it. I can't run fast enough.
Well, we're older.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
I hobbled into that one.
Yeah. You're like, oof. These aren't the shoes for this. We need shoes for things. That's when you know you're getting old.
Yeah. Specific type of shoe for an activity.
Pass.
Oh, pass, man.
Pass.
Vans until my knees go the other way.
Mm-hmm. Live for that. Live for it. What about your spring break?
It was fun. We kind of did a staycation thing. Spent some time with them in the yard. We put some planter boxes out back, like raised beds and stuff. And here's what's funny about this. We plant like carrots, like simple stuff. Carrots, peas, corn. Corn grows anywhere for the most part, right? And then some flowers back there and stuff. And like, it's only in our backyard 2 days of planting stuff before squirrels are just like stealing bulbs out of the earth in the night. Mm-hmm. Maybe raccoons. Yeah. And we wake up in the morning, it's like as carefully as you dig the hole to put the bulb in and cover it, it's dug up and like it's gone.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, it's really fun to teach the kids, let's plant wildflowers here and this plant here and some corn here and some peppers here. And because, none of it's we're not going to touch any of it.
Yeah.
As soon as it becomes something edible, and even before then, it's gone. There's no way. So here's the thing. Here's what's so wild about this, like urban gardening, if you will.
Yeah.
Suburban gardening, I guess, here. But it's like, put some stuff out there, put a couple bird feeders out there, and it's like the whole wildlife universe is like, come to the burger backyard. They got shit for everybody.
Yeah.
Not only are they planting us food, but they got bird seed there. So my wife reads, if you put bird seed out there, they drop it, the squirrels show up, the squirrels want it, and then that's not enough, so they jump onto the bird feeder, scares the birds away. Now you got squirrels. So she reads, there's not really a way, if you want bird feeders and stuff like that, like it's not like you're just going to not have squirrels and stuff like that. So the best way to keep them off the bird feeders is to feed the squirrels.
Uh-oh.
Which seems like such a slippery slope, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
But if you want to keep the birds, it's like, well, I don't know, maybe that kind of makes sense. So my wife finds this thing. It's like maybe you've seen this. It's like a super scaled down picnic table.
Uh-huh.
And you like nail it against a tree or nail it against the fence. And then coming out of the picnic table top is like a screw. And that's where you put like corn, and then you put peanuts all over the top of the table. So that's what the squirrels eat, ideally.
You're just going to start feeding the neighborhood because you want to see birds?
I know. Anyway, if you know what cougar or wildcat food they like to eat.
I know. That's Verano.
Let us know.
Coyotes will be next.
Coyotes will be next. And then probably cougars.
Mm-hmm.
I think, right? Cougars? Yeah, probably here in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then hawks at some point, I would hope. I know. So it feels like I don't know what we're up against here.
Yeah.
Is it a slippery slope, or is it like, put them there? But I got to say, it's pretty funny. We'll try to get a good picture of it and post it on stories or something. Like the squirrels do sit on the picnic bench and eat the corn and peanuts, and it's pretty funny looking.
I bet.
I mean, all I hear is my wife in the bedroom looking out the window going, oh, look at you, little distinguished guy. You're distinguished. I'm like, what's happening? I look out there. There's a squirrel just sitting on the picnic table eating peanuts. I mean, it's like...
Just having a good time.
I mean, he's really just kind of missing a bow tie and I don't know. What would go well with peanuts? A lager, maybe?
Yeah, get him a little Pilsner.
A little Pilsner out there on the table?
Yeah. Be nice.
Anyway, that's where we are. Suburban gardening / wildlife refuge.
Yeah, I guess so.
And
I like how that devolved so badly from I wanted to plant a garden with my family.
I know.
Now you just gave up and you're feeding the animals.
I know. It's what we were kind of laughing about that over the weekend was like it goes so quickly from a couple of pots, couple of flowers to, well, it'd be nice to have the kids help us plant like some raised bed stuff. You know what would look nice over there if we got rid of that weeded area and then put some like raised. Oh, that would look nice. Yeah, that would look nice. God, the squirrels are. I mean, it's like it just ramps up so quickly. And here I am with like a metal rake, like just raking 12 feet of weeds, trying to get to
for nothing.
Not for well, no, it looks nice now. I don't know if the weeds are coming back. Probably before I even can.
They are.
They are. They'll find anywhere weeds. Grow like children. They do.
Radishes. That'll. Nobody's gonna touch those. We planted radishes. We got those.
I know. It's like they're the easiest thing to grow because like no one touches them and no one eats them.
They're the spiciest things I've ever had. It's wild. Didn't expect it. I've had radishes many times.
They are pretty spicy.
But you
probably had them pickled or.
No, I've had them raw before. But this was like out of the ground. Was like
out of the ground that you made.
Yeah, it was a journey. I gave it to my dad, who like used to love radishes, and he still does. But
yeah.
I was like, Dad, you got to try these. They're so spicy. And he was like, spicy?
Oh, I can handle some spice.
And he took it and he was like, oh yeah, that's bad.
My fingertips are burning.
Yeah.
They are wild.
Yeah. Well, good luck. Good luck with your...
It's, the funny thing is my wife and I are like, I mean, we're not getting any of this. Hopefully some of it shows up.
Yeah.
And we're like, look, the squirrel eating our corn that we grew for 3 months.
Oh, he brought it to the
even though he
brought it to the picnic table this
Yeah.
time. He's just screwing it in.
Does he have a napkin tucked under his little? tuft of fur there?
He's got a fork with a pat of butter. You gotta cook it, dumbass.
Oh, I'm cooking over here, pal.
Yeah.
The crew's coming over later. We're going to hit up those carrots.
It's 130 out there. It's plenty cooked.
That's where we are. Which is, I don't know, man. You know, it's about killing time, getting through the next day. And that's helping.
The next day.
It's helping.
Great. I think we should go on to our dumb dad moments.
Let's get to it.
Mine is brought to you by sickness, as I previously talked about.
By viral, not videos, infections.
Viral infections.
Yeah.
So our kids got sick. My son got the worst of it. My wife and I somehow unscathed.
So you have the immunity.
We both have the immunity, which is insane.
How did you get that? Where'd you get it?
Because my son, it gets even crazier.
Did you get it on Amazon or something? It's like Prime, like 2-day shipping.
No, I went to a farmer's market.
Organic?
Yeah, you gotta get organic.
Yeah.
Stuff you get on Amazon. It's got preservatives and it's
you get it quickly,
like
but
yeah,
same as a cold. Get it quickly.
So anyway, they were both sick, and we have for a thermometer. We don't have a mouth thermometer. We have just like the forehead zappy gun one. You know, we don't have a butt one either. Don't worry.
Well, hold on. Let me stop you. First of all, mouth thermometer there was something how you said that. I don't know. But also the mouth thermometer is the same as the butt thermometer. The mercury glass, red tipped, looks like a matchstick.
Yeah, the only difference is the label. And you can't mix up those labels. Don't take them out at the same time. One goes in one container, one goes in the other.
One goes in the on-ramp, one goes in the exit ramp.
Yep. So
that's how they're labeled.
We just have the ones that just, zap,
thermal
thermometer. And though I know those aren't accurate, which was why this didn't.
What? That's what they use at the hospital.
No, they usually do the ones they drag along the forehead, which are similar.
Oh, that's what we have. It's like a digital readout thing. What are you talking about?
This is literally just looks like a little Star Wars blaster, and you hold it
that's
4 inches from the head, away from the head. Don't touch the forehead, and just click it, and then you get your number.
That's accurate.
They're off usually by a degree or two. The reason why I say that is because my son was at 105 a couple times.
Bro.
So they had it for 4 days, right? And he's at 105, which the first time you hear that, you go, okay.
That's hospitals.
That's hospital, but with kids, it's different. With an adult, it's where's the will? Do you think you have time to write one?
To drink some water or sit in an ice bath.
But with kids, don't speak to your doctor if you're listening to this. Obviously, it's in the name of the podcast.
It's the Dumb Dad
but I'm just
podcast.
From my experience before of talking to our pediatricians, it's basically just that's very high. Keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing is keep an eye on them. How are they doing? Obviously, try to bring it down, give them medicine.
Yeah. Not great. It's 105.
Well, that's why I'm saying those thermometers aren't the most accurate, but obviously it was definitely high. But he was such a little trooper because when it was getting that high, he wasn't just destroyed. You know what I mean? It wasn't what you assume 105 would be, which is we're getting close to a poached egg.
Still has a runny center.
But he was still
but he's getting a little
high energy.
Clammy.
And he was still high energy
stiff.
and fine and jumping around and stuff. And so it was just pop for him. It was great. I'm sure in his mind he was like, man, I would love to have a fever. I bet is his thought all the time because it was just feeding him popsicles, giving him a coldish.
Spraying him with a hose.
Bath. I did it
throwing him in the pool over and over and over again.
I did at one point because I'm sure your kids are the same way. When you get an ice pack, they let you put it on for all of 2 seconds before they're get it away from me.
No, my kids they'll bring it back to you at room temp. All right, this thing's cached. Can I get another one? Yeah. They sit hanging around with them sometimes. It's not only fever stuff. If they feel warm or sometimes they'll just ask to go get one. Yeah, sure. And they just lay with it or.
Means your kids are going to make obnoxious ice bath videos when they're older.
I think they're cold-blooded. No, they're cold-blooded. It might be.
It's going to be their influencer page. Cold plunge videos.
Do you think they're still going to be influencers then?
Saying it's all there's going to be. But
that was the most disappointing, frustrating, sad thing we've ever said on this podcast.
Prove me wrong. So
I can't.
I know I did a video today. It didn't do well, and I think it was just because it hit a little too close to home at the end.
I know it's a good joke.
But
everyone out there, you're wrong.
But
the left-handed joke.
What did
gold.
Work?
It's gold.
What worked for my son though with ice pack trying to bring his temperature down, and it was like the first thing I tried because I went in the freezer and I was like, I'm not gonna put an ice pack on him because he's just gonna complain about it. And it's just gonna be like constant. Like,
you got to duct tape it to his head.
So we have this reusable like wine bottle chiller.
Yeah.
It's one of those like it just pops open. You can just sleeve it right on top of a bottle of wine. Yeah. It's frozen gel inside. Mm-hmm. So I just took that thing and just slapped that on his back, and he was like, "This is great."
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you put on his wrists.
Oh,
one on each arm.
No, this is the chest and the back.
Give yourself a little hug, buddy.
Yeah,
chest and back. Isn't that wild? Like you can check that. I thought that was one of the most. Those things you learn when you become a parent was like check their head, but you can also definitely check their chest or their back.
Yeah.
If they have a fever.
The back's usually the first tell. When you like give them a hug and you go, uh-oh.
Yeah. What is happening inside your body?
So anyway, let's get to the dumb dad part of this dumb dad moment.
Yeah.
There was one night where, because they're like, we're alternating ibuprofen and acetaminophen. We're going back and forth every 4 hours.
Uh-huh.
But then you're also just like, I don't want to give like medicine head. Like, I don't want to like keep doing this. But when it gets to 105, you don't have a choice. So he was like, on and off, pretty high all day. Then it's bedtime, and he's been due for like an hour to the next one, whatever it was. Ibuprofen, we'll say. And we take his temperature, and we're like, oh, it's low grade. It's like 100. And we're like, all right, let's let him sleep without the medicine. Let's go without the medicine.
It's gotta be children's Tylenol. I think that's for fevers.
Huh?
Children's Tylenol, is that what you're giving him?
That's what acetaminophen is. You just alternate Motrin and children's Tylenol because you just alternate the acetaminophen and the ibuprofen.
Don't
every
fact
4
check
hours.
us. He's 100% right, guaranteed.
I am 100% right about that. I'm very confident about that.
Post that. Post it.
You're supposed to give them every 6 hours, but if you're going to alternate, you can do every 4. So we were like, yeah, you know what? Let's send him to bed. And that was a joint dumb dad moment. My wife and I we were a team on this. We're best friends, and we make mistakes together.
Keep going.
Because
I think you need a little bit more. A little bit more.
Here's what's crazy about us not getting sick is that she slept in his bed all night, which is totally smart and understandable. With like 105, you want to monitor that. Like,
yeah.
It is funny when we have kids that aren't sick.
Mama Bear's not sleeping either.
No, I know. But
yeah,
it's funny.
Here you go. Good luck. I'll see you in the morning. Oh, like no.
I've done that. I've shoved the chair under the door and like, when you're strong enough to get out.
Post that one too. Clip that off.
So it's funny though when your kids aren't sick, how you're just like, oh, gross. Like, what is this? Like, cover your mouth. Like, oh, buddy, you just coughed right on me.
The coughing
and then when they're
over
sick,
food.
And then when they're sick, you're just like, throw up in my hands.
Yeah,
like it's like all bets are off. You don't care. It's like I got to get this job done. This is a shirt, but it can also be a bag.
It cannot.
Like a cheesecloth.
Like maybe for a bag
of
oranges.
Like a cheesecloth.
Yeah, it's not a bag for liquids. I promise you that.
So my wife lays down with him, and they cut to 3 a.m. They're up for the day because he's at 105 again.
Why? Okay, we gotta walk this back for a second.
What?
He's been at 100. He reads at 105,
give or take. Sometimes it was lower. It wasn't
what
always.
I'm saying,
it wasn't a steady 105.
Right. But you're giving him medicine, so you're treating the 105. So you discover he's 105. Oh shit! Should we need to call somebody, or if they get this out for, do we need to go somewhere, or do we how can we manage this here? Right. That's what your quick thought process is. So you start treating it, and then it gets him down to whatever. I don't know, whatever you're getting it down to throughout the day. But it's time for bed, and he's reading at 100.
It might have been
98.6, and so it's like, if it's 99.5, 99.2. But if it's 100, why are you not going like, well, just give him another dose?
Two reasons.
Is there a reason like why you're? And I'm not trying to put you on blast here. I'm just saying like curious.
Oh my God, you're not.
I'm just saying like I'm curious.
Well, a big part of it is the problem with doing medicine. God, this has just turned into a medical podcast. But the problem with
which we are not in it.
No.
Anyway,
if you're driving, pull over and take notes. When your child is sick, when everybody's sick, and you get a fever, it is your body fighting the infection.
Sure. Yep.
So that raised temperature is important to fighting the virus. If you're constantly bringing the fever down, you are, although helping them make them more comfortable, you are in a way, very little, but you're not helping fight the virus because you're making them more comfortable. You're bringing the temperature
immune
down.
system is taking a break. You're not
burning off the virus, which is what the attempt of raising the temperature is doing of your body. So if you can
boil the water if you're going to drink it.
If
you don't know what's upstream, pal, boil the water.
That's basically it. And if your kids are comfortable, you don't need to give them Tylenol or ibuprofen.
I mean, I love how we're so far into the weeds right now.
This is a great
We
one.
don't even know where we are.
People have tapped their phones multiple times to make sure they're listening to the Dumb Dad podcast.
Yeah. When I had COVID and I called and I was like,
Dr. Kevin.
When I got COVID, whatever, a year ago or something, for the first time, it was like didn't feel well, tested positive. That night of sleep was the worst I'd had in 15 years. Mm-hmm. Got really nervous, high heart rate, really bad fever, like everything happening at once. I was like,
but you do the same thing happens to you when you go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Same, sure, for sure. But like, I know that's coming to me, right? That's a plan.
I did this.
That's a plan. I did this to my own body. This was also on the menu. It's in very fine print, but it's there. And I call and it's like, oh damn, I was going to try to think of what are the commercials? COVID? I turned to Paxlovid. It's like a...
Oh, right. Yeah.
They rhyme it. But I had heard, like, that's what you do. So I called and I was like, how do I get Paxlovid? I can't sleep like that again. That made me nervous. And they were like, it's either going to be a rebound now with this new strain, or it's going to, you're going to feel good for a couple days and then it's going to come back to you, or you're going to potentially like ramp it up for a couple days. And I was like, well, I don't want to do either of those things. And they were like, right. So if you're
write it out, baby,
try to, fluids, everything like we say normally. Now it's a little bit more like the flu. So what you want to do is just like kind of monitor what's happening to your body and don't over medicate yourself. Exactly. But they weren't saying like to not let your body fight it. They were saying that. So it's like, I feel great while internally, but maybe that's what you're saying. Like, I'm feeling great while internally things are getting worse.
Yes.
Because you're just like constantly keeping it at bay.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Okay. I feel bad still. That's up at 3, 6.
So my wife was
like,
then up.
Not fun.
And then they were up for the day.
Yeah.
And
at 3 in the morning.
At 3 in the morning, eating popsicles, watching something dumb.
He's gaslighting you so hard. If I could convince her to get up now, I got a popsicle within 10 minutes of right now.
He had the greatest time with the fever. Like he would get glassy eyed once or twice a day, but for the most part, he's like, this is great. Because he's just like, every time I ask for something, I get it. Except for like milk. He'd go, can I get milk? And I go, oh, no.
No. It'll curdle before you even swallow it.
No. We have so much cottage cheese still.
My God. If you're driving, take notes. If you're eating, we apologize.
Yeah. The other dumb dad moment that my wife and I did together, because we're a team, and couples, you should do them together. It's just more fun. You ride together, you die together.
In sickness and in health, and the dumbest shit you can think of as a couple.
The other one was when they both had it, and especially my son, it was also raining, and he was like hitting these walls of, even when it wasn't 105, you just see him just like pretty, I'm tired or whatever. We were just screen crazy. We were just screen crazy. Go ahead, guys. And cut to 6:30. Both of them with fevers and coughing like they eat cigarettes. It's like 6:30. We're just like bouncing off the walls. Let's go! Like
Yeah, because for them, it's sort of like noon.
Mm-hmm. And it was just like my wife and I looked at each other at one point and went, uh-oh. Like, because they were both insane and jumping and going all over the walls. And we were like, oh, this is bad. So
coincidentally, in the other room, your mom and your dad looked at each other and went, uh-oh.
Yeah. So then we called the doctor on Monday before they went back to school.
Yeah.
So my son still had a small fever. And we were like, can we bring him in? He's having a fever for like 4 days.
Yeah.
Tested him for COVID. It's not COVID. And they're like, yeah, bring him in. They bring him in. They check him out. They're like, yeah, it's just a virus. It seems like he's on the way to kicking it. He can go to school tomorrow as long as he doesn't have a fever. The cough is, I think, standard issue now with children. So, Oh, by the way, make sure they're running around and playing because it helps burn off the. And we were like, oh, Dad, we went the other way.
Yeah, and how would you suggest ramping up that effect if, let's say, hypothetically, there was a kid in a different family?
Yeah,
that would just kind of lay it around.
Yeah,
what
do we do then? Am I in trouble?
Would screen time help?
So needless to say,
again, speaking for somebody that I'm not even associated with.
So today he doesn't have the today as of the recording because he went to the doctor's yesterday.
Yeah.
Today, no fever. He is good, and he went to school for the first time because spring break's over, and it's also his birthday today. Happy birthday, buddy! If you're listening to
Happy
this
birthday, pal. Love you, buddy.
to try to connect to me because I died in that bear attack. Happy 5th birthday.
Sorry that I keep posting it, but
it's funny.
It's so funny. The way he's like, a bear.
I was like, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna take a picture of this bear. Anyway, I took out 2 of them before. Anyway,
remember when I was getting really close to the hawk at the zoo, and you were like, "Please be a dumb dad moment."
I wish you almost got hurt. It was great.
I almost lost my eyes that day. Anyway, continue.
So he goes to school. Then he gets out of school. We set up a little birthday party in the backyard with the bouncy house. Yep. I mean, he was so cashed. I was just.
I know.
He'd been sick for like 4 or 5 days. His first day back to school, which is already exhausting for a TK.
First day back of like a spring break, winter break, summer break. I mean, it's like.
And then he comes.
He
comes home, and I go, "Oh no, buddy, we're going to the backyard." And he goes in the backyard. I got the bounce house up. I got his like climbing dome. I made a like floors, lava, stones, made obstacle course, and I was like, here's a lot of sugar." And needless, he was pretty cashed. He
opened the backyard and he looked at it and thought, "This is great." It's basically being asked like, "All right, pal, let's go to Buffalo Wild Wings right now."
Yeah, he looked at me.
You kind of have to. We're going right now.
He looked at me and he was like,
"Okay,
they really don't give you a manual for parenting, huh?" then just ran away.
Well, there's a lot of other people's opinions.
Oh, I can go online and find tons of valid opinions.
None of which we will abide to here.
My thing is, if they have numbers in their screen name, they're probably legit.
Well, yeah, because they want to be hyper specific.
Yeah.
What are they going to just let the computer choose one for them?
User number? I'll tell you.
Oh, user 8160484Z? I don't think so. That's who I'm listening to. It's probably their tax ID number for their business.
Oh, it's probably their social dum-dums.
Speaking of dum-dums, ready for my dumb dad moment?
I'm ready for your dumb dad
It's simple and clean because I do want to get to something else before we finish out this podcast.
Okay.
Here's the thing, man. You live in a family of 4, 3, 4, doesn't matter. Let's set the number at 4. You tell me.
I don't know. It's your story.
Like when somebody else comes and gets your garbage can and empties it for you, okay? And then you go put it back in your driveway or wherever you keep them. You are so focused on making sure that recycling bin and or garbage can are emptied because a week is like already feels like pushing it sometimes.
Yeah.
When you got 6 people in your house, in my situation.
Right. You said 4, though. You said 4 was the number we're going to go with. Now we're changing the story.
4 being the number of like, you probably got to pay attention to that.
I'm just saying, you were like, let's set the story at 4.
Let me clarify.
And now we're doing a 6-person story.
The over-under of people living in the household where you got to like kind of focus on that, making sure it gets picked up is like 4.
Okay.
What do you think? More or less?
The over-under?
Are you worried about it every week? You got 4 people living here. Are you making sure, like, if the garbage for some reason doesn't get taken from you on garbage day, are you like, oh, shit?
I've never missed garbage day, but I will say, yeah, I'm not proud of my behavior since becoming a homeowner. I don't like... Today, I cleaned up after my son's birthday party and caught myself with my hands on my hips looking at my clean backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Boo.
Well, you earned that, though.
It looked great.
You earned that. And since we've moved, it's like been a little bit of an order comes in, this comes in. Sometimes you got to like shove more stuff in addition to your normal consumption of garbage and or recycling.
You got to know how to cut cardboard.
You got to know how to. If you don't know how to break down a cardboard box, good luck to you. Yeah. You 4-plussers out there. Yeah. And so we had this like big box situation with a bunch of styrofoam in it.
Okay.
And big pieces of styrofoam as well. You know, you got to know how to break down cardboard. You know why. You got to fit more in there. If I put all these 4 pieces of styrofoam in there, there's not enough room for like garbage at all for a week.
Yeah.
So I'm breaking this stuff down little piece by little piece, just taking my time out there, cutting it into little pieces, cramming it down in the bottom of the garbage can.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of the week, we're putting garbage on top of that. Heavy garbage.
I see what's happening.
Yeah. Filler.
Yeah, you made yourself a nice little...
A void of nothing other than airy styrofoam. So when the garbage comes to get picked up, he dumps it out, and the styrofoam, which was taking up like 40% of the garbage can...
Wedged in there.
Tight with heavy garbage on top of it for a week.
Pressure seal.
Cramping it down to the bottom. So they come and empty the garbage can, and it's like they took 2 days off our plate. But really...
Did you run across the street?
Yeah. Tried it again. Still didn't come out.
Did you loosen it?
Yes.
Oh.
My wife's like, I got an idea. It didn't. She tells me one of our garbage bags was like in the middle of the road. Like it went flying over the garbage truck and splayed everywhere. So she was like, I had to go put all that stuff back in there. This is like while I was dropping the kids off at school. Mm-hmm. She's like, the garbage is everywhere. I had to put it back in there, and I went to go put it back in our garbage thing, and it was like all the styrofoam was still there. So I loosened it and put it on the other side of the street. And I was like, high five, that's awesome. Still didn't work. So our garbage has been absolutely full since yesterday, Monday. Thursday is the day.
Have you thought about burning it?
I don't think you're allowed to do that in Los Angeles.
I don't think you're allowed to do it anywhere.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, if you see a random bag, by the way, this is totally off subject, of garbage in your lawn, could you throw it in your garbage?
Oh, sure.
Okay. So I just mismanaged that, and now we're playing from behind again.
Yeah, it's been pretty tough. I have a pretty great relationship with our neighbor across the street because every once in a while, I see him bringing his stuff over to my side.
It's a key move, man.
And you just kind of do the dad coffee mug. Cheers.
Appreciate you. Whatever your name is, I kind of forgot already.
And that kind of inspires you to go, if they come on my side first, I think I'm going to get that thing in the garage and throw it away, run across the street. Guys, rate and review this podcast. It helps us on Apple Podcasts. Give us that 5 stars. And we will read.
We're like Uber drivers.
We will read. We'll read one of your reviews on the podcast. I have one I read and I laughed out loud.
Oh, good.
You're gonna hate it, Evan.
Okay. Go for it.
It says the title is 5 stars. I'm a fan. Written on March 1st at a pod fan number 23. Thanks, at a pod fan number 23.
Thank you very much.
It says I love listening.
And you know it's right because it's a numerical username, so you know they're super legit.
The numbers are in there; they're legit. Yeah. I love listening to your podcast. So funny at times. I have to ask though, why is Evan always interrupting Kevin? Why? And you see he put like 100 question marks there.
I do this.
Thank you.
It's a horrible habit of mine, and I do it to my wife, and she reminds me all the time. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I get too
excited to say your
thing. And say my thing, and That's not being a very good host, and I apologize.
Oh my God. I saw that and I was like, well, we said we'd read one. This is perfect. Guys, right in.
It just so happens you picked one, and that was it.
Yeah, that's so weird. Actually, it wasn't the newest one.
I wouldn't bet that
it was the second to newest one. The newest one, Dumb, Charming, Relatable Dads from Tara 373. Again, number 5 stars. Absolutely love listening to the show. Super relatable and uplifting. These guys are actively parenting and finding the humor in it. Thank you very much. That's a great review.
Appreciate that.
That's a very kind
review.
review.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Tara.
Go ahead.
Okay. Thanks to Everdo on SoundCloud for the music to this podcast. And as always, to my lovely wife and editor, Annie, for the work you do on this podcast. What do you got? Joke?
I got a joke for you. Yeah. Why does a pitcher raise one leg up really high before he throws the ball?
I don't know.
Because if you raise both of them, he'd fall down.
Okay. That's just physics.
Yeah. Physics can be funny too, Kevin.
Nah.
Bye.
Okay, bye. Welcome to the world, little one. Welcome to life.
How do I stop this?